Y'all, let's talk about some seriously disturbing footage that's about to put Kanye in a spotlight he never saw coming. And get this, it's the kind of freaky stuff that makes you wonder if Ye's been hiding even darker secrets than Diddy himself. I mean, we all know Kanye's been throwing major shade at Diddy lately, but here's the wildest part. Diddy might have caught Kanye on camera at one of his infamous parties. And honey, what went down at those freak-offs is way worse than anyone could have imagined. So buckle up, because this tea is about to spill everywhere.
Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way.
We've got some new reports on the man Kanye West. Also, I just walked through a storm, if you couldn't tell, so ignore that in my hair. He's being sued for harassment by his ex-assistant.
Y'all, I cannot even, my hands are literally shaking as I tell you this. Kanye's former assistant, Lauren Pata, just dropped some major bombshells, and I mean major! She's accusing Kanye of drugging and assaulting her during a studio session that Diddy co-hosted. But wait, it gets even more twisted. Pata didn't even realize what happened until years later when Kanye himself spilled the tea, literally laughing about how they had hooked up that night. Can you believe this man had the audacity to spike her drink and then laugh about it later, like it was no big deal? I'm literally disgusted. And honey, the drama doesn't stop there. Pata's lawsuit is moving forward while Kanye's legal team is trying to countersue, but with all these accusations piling up faster than designer shoes at a sample sale, it's getting harder and harder to know what's real anymore. And let me tell you something, Kanye's reputation is hanging by the thinnest thread ever. If these lawsuits go through, it could be game over for Ye, completely done. He's already drowning in other lawsuits, former employees calling him out for discrimination and harassment, and don't even get me started on that mess with his private Christian school Donda Academy. It's just crazy how Kanye's been out here throwing dirt on Diddy's name, acting all high and mighty, while his own dark side is getting exposed left and right. These two used to be tight. Kanye was even at Diddy's 50th birthday party, but now that everything's falling apart, Kanye's pointing fingers like he's directing traffic. The projection is real, honey. Now, let's spill some more tea, because this gets even juicier. Diddy's legal drama is spreading like wildfire. We're talking racketeering allegations and so much more. And now Kanye's getting dragged into his own mess. It's like they were both running in these super shady circles, doing who knows what behind closed doors. And y'all, hold on to your wigs, because this next part is wild. Nikki Heon, you know that singer who blew up on YouTube? Well, she just came forward with some absolutely horrifying claims about both Kanye and Diddy in this shocking Instagram Live from June 2024. She accused them both of trying to assault her when she was just 19 years old. 19? Can you even?
I'm like, you guys stop, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have ripped my shirt off. And I'm almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me. And
let me tell you exactly what went down with Nikki Heon, because this story has me shook to my core. So, she gets invited to this recording session with Kanye and Diddy right after her song Bad Intentions blew up, right? The second she walks into that studio, something felt off. These men were completely wasted, probably high on who knows what, and their eyes were all over her like vultures. Girl knew right then and there things were about to get messy, so they start pressuring her to drink something. Classic predator move. But our girl was smart. She pretended to drink it because, honey, she knew that drink was not safe. But then things got super scary. All the other women in the studio suddenly disappeared, leaving her alone with Kanye, Diddy, and their crew. And what happens next? They start telling her to take off her clothes, claiming it was too hot in the studio. Seriously. When she refused, and good for her, they got physical, literally tearing at her shirt. The most heartbreaking part? She looked at another man in the room for help, and this coward just turned away like nothing was happening. Can you imagine how terrified she must have been? Thank goodness she managed to escape by literally throwing herself at the door, making Kanye and Diddy lose their balance. She hid in another studio until her manager came back to rescue her. I literally have chills.
He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like if I reached and he reached too, like we could touch. Like he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like step in, like this isn't cool. Like you're a grown man, like you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family, like you know this isn't right, like do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live.
Now here's where it gets even more twisted, if you can believe that's possible. You know how Diddy's infamous parties have been under federal investigation? Well, the tea is scalding hot because the feds just revealed that Diddy had secret cameras recording everything that went down at these parties. And get this, he was allegedly selling these tapes on the dark web. I cannot even. And here's the kicker that has everyone gagging. Kanye was at some of those parties. So if Diddy was recording everything, just imagine what kind of footage he might have of Kanye. No wonder Kanye's been calling Diddy a fed. Looks like someone's worried about what might come out.
Because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talk is because you did a dick fed.
Y'all, this next part makes me sick to my stomach. The way both Kanye and Diddy have used their power to manipulate young women is just disgusting. Remember, Nikki Heon was only 19 when this allegedly happened, and Lauren Pata wasn't much older when she started working for Kanye. These were just young women trying to make it in the industry, and these men took advantage of them. And speaking of controlling behavior, can we talk about what's happening with Kanye's new wife, Bianca Censori? Have y'all seen how he's been dressing her? It's giving major control freak vibes, just like how Diddy allegedly treated women at his parties. Bianca's friends and family are worried sick, saying Kanye's manipulating her just like he did with Kim Kardashian. It's like history repeating itself, but this time it's even more obvious. Bianca might think she's in control, but honey, from where we're sitting, it's clear as day that Kanye's pulling all the strings. And here's the tea that'll really make your head spin. Word on the street is that Kanye's been hiring private investigators to follow people in his life, including Bianca. Yes, you heard that right. He's having his own wife followed without her knowledge. The controlling behavior is just off the charts. Now let me spill some serious tea about one of the messiest connections in this whole saga, Ray J, Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian. Y'all remember that infamous tape with Ray J and Kim that basically broke the internet? That tape is still one of the most talked about moments in pop culture history, and it put both Kim and Ray J on the map, though maybe not in the way they wanted. Fast forward a few years, and who swoops in to marry Kim? Kanye West! Like the same Kim from the Ray J tape. The drama of it all. And now Ray J is out here defending Diddy, saying he's innocent until proven guilty. But here's the juicy part. Ray J hinted that Diddy's arrest could start this huge domino effect in the industry. We're talking about exposing all these powerful people involved in shady business. And honey, you know Kanye's name has got to be mixed up in there somewhere. Ray J's been dropping hints about other high-profile figures getting caught up in this mess, and I wouldn't be shocked if Kanye's one of them. I mean, he was right there at those infamous parties with Diddy. And let's not forget about Kanye's wild past, like that time he admitted he tried to set up a threesome with Amber Rose and Nicki Minaj. He even asked Safari, who was dating Nicki at the time, if she'd be down. The audacity.
You know what's so messed up is like, he didn't really know they was together, so he's down doing dark fantasy, and he in the studio. I'm just thinking he bitch. I'm like, yo, Safari, you think Nicki will let me and Amber hit like what she said? This her man. Like, you gotta.
Y'all, it looks like Kanye's years of wild living are finally catching up to him. All these skeletons are just tumbling out of his closet. And get this, sources are saying Kanye might be trying to escape all this drama by hiding out in Tokyo. Word on the street is he's making moves to permanently settle in Japan, trying to distance himself from all this heat. He's been spotted in Tokyo without Bianca Censori, which has everyone's eyebrows raised to the ceiling. They were last seen together on September 20th shopping in Japan, but now rumors are flying that they've split up. Apparently, Bianca flew back to Melbourne while Kanye's telling everyone he's staying in Tokyo for the long haul. Now, you've got to wonder, why is Kanye choosing now to pack up and move to Japan? Some people think it's not a coincidence that he's running away right when his name is getting dragged into this whole mess with Diddy. Here's a gossip-style rephrasing of the script, maintaining the emotional tone while keeping the content appropriate. OMG! You won't believe the absolute chaos that's erupted over Kanye West's latest controversy and those wild connections to Diddy's parties. The internet is literally exploding right now, and fans are totally divided. Some people are finally calling Kanye out on his behavior, while his ride or die supporters are still defending literally everything he does. One fan totally went off, and honestly, I'm living for their honesty. They straight up said, "Everybody's shocked at Kanye as if he isn't the most sadistic, anti-Semitic, abusive clown on planet Earth. Not shocked in the slightest. If anything, I'm shocked it took this long. Like, tell us how you really feel." And they're not wrong. So many people saw this coming from miles away. But wait, it gets even wilder. Another person came through with this absolutely mind-blowing theory about why Kanye's been spotted in Japan lately. They're convinced he's hiding out there to avoid potential prison time in the US. And get this, they think his wife, Bianca, could end up facing charges similar to Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, that's a pretty intense theory, but it shows just how deep people are digging into this whole situation. But don't think for a second that Kanye's lost all his supporters. His loyal fans are still out there defending him like their lives depend on it. One devoted supporter jumped in saying, "The Kanye accusation isn't even true. Kanye has been a target unfairly for years. I know this story. He didn't do what this woman is saying he did. They're convinced he's just being unfairly targeted," which honestly has been their go-to defense for years now. Y'all, buckle up because the tea about Kanye West and Bianca Censori is scorching hot. Their marriage, which already had everyone side-eyeing it, just took the most dramatic turn ever. Just when you thought things couldn't get messier, Bianca gets named in this super disturbing lawsuit against Kanye. The allegations are wild. We're talking inappropriate content shown to employees, and apparently, Bianca was right there participating in some seriously questionable behavior. The internet is dragging her through the mud, calling her all kinds of names, and Kim Kardashian. Oh honey, she is not letting this slide. Word on the street is she's gearing up for the custody battle of the century. She's apparently determined to get full custody of North and keep both Kanye and Bianca far away from her kids. This drama is about to get so messy, y'all better grab your popcorn. Let's rewind a bit because this whole situation is like a twisted soap opera. Remember when Kanye shocked everyone by suddenly marrying Bianca? Like, literally no one saw that coming. He just shows up one day with a ring on his finger, and suddenly we're hearing about this super secret ceremony with Bianca Censori. Even Kim was caught off guard. She went straight to Instagram with that shade, posting stuff like, "I'm really in my quiet girl era, and just remember the black sheep usually turns into the goat." The Kardashians were completely blindsided by this whole thing. An insider spilled that they weren't even sure if it was real or just another one of Kanye's publicity stunts. They were especially nervous about how this would affect the kids. I mean, can you blame them?
Hey, I there's just a pair of shorts I wanted to see.
Yeah, can I get your number?
I'm married.
For real? Oh, damn.
So this video of Bianca came out and everyone's hearts just broke watching it. She seemed so sweet and people were convinced she was being forced to act like someone she wasn't. But hold on to your seats because this story gets even crazier. Sources started spilling about Kanye's absolutely wild rules for Bianca. Get this, she supposedly can't speak without his permission, has to wear exactly what he picks out, and even has to eat specific foods. And the workout thing? Apparently Kanye makes her exercise while he doesn't even bother working out himself. The craziest part? He's got her believing there's some kind of royalty. When her friends and family tried to step in and help, it was a total disaster. They staged this whole intervention, but Bianca wasn't having any of it. She thought they were just jealous of her fabulous new celebrity life. Talk about being in deep. Despite all this drama, Bianca and Kanye seem to be getting closer, especially with his kids. North apparently thinks Bianca is just the coolest thing ever. and they've been spotted holding hands and being all buddy-buddy. But Kim, oh honey, she is not happy about this situation at all. Sources say she's super jealous and worried about Bianca getting too close to her daughter. Like, co-parenting with Kanye was already a nightmare, and now this?
Hard. It is like co-parenting. It's really hard, you know? And like,
you're not co-parenting with just anyone.
yeah.
For the quietest, easiest.
But I had the best dad, and I had the best memories and the greatest experience. And that's all I want for my kids. As long as they can have that, that's what I would want for them.
And then Kim pulled the most iconic shade move ever. She stepped out in LA wearing Kanye's old camo jacket, the exact same one he wore to North's 4th birthday party. Like, talk about a fashion clap back. With all this mess surrounding Kanye and Bianca lately, Kim might be onto something. But y'all, this is where things get really dark. Kanye's former assistant Lauren dropped some major bombshells. She started working with him on his Yeezy fashion line, and everything seemed great at first. He even offered her this crazy $1 million salary, which, let's be real, is way more than your typical assistant makes. Most celebrity assistants are lucky to get $100,000. But the money came with strings attached, so many strings. Lauren says Kanye started getting super controlling, even trying to dictate her personal life. He made her shut down her side account, bribing her with another $1 million to do it. At first, she was like, why not? Because, hello, $1 million. But things got so much worse. Lauren claims Kanye went full megalomaniac, acting like he was some kind of god. And then, the inappropriate behavior started. She says he was sending her explicit texts and videos. And girl, it gets even worse. She claims he trapped her in a private room on his plane and exposed himself. Like, what happened to the whole godly person act? The texts she described are absolutely disgusting. I won't even repeat half of what she said he wrote. And apparently, this wasn't even surprising to some people. Other former employees came forward saying Kanye used to play inappropriate films during staff meetings and even showed intimate pictures of Kim during job interviews. Like, who does that? Then another woman named Nikki came forward with even more disturbing allegations about both Diddy and Kanye trying to assault her. But y'all, the money came with strings attached, like really disturbing strings. Lauren spilled that Kanye started living this weird godlike lifestyle, but his behavior was anything but holy. She claims he bombarded her with explicit texts and videos, and some of the stuff he allegedly said, I can't even repeat it all. We're talking super inappropriate comments and situations that no employee should ever have to deal with. And get this, she's not the only one coming forward. Other former employees are saying Kanye would play inappropriate films during staff meetings and even showed intimate pictures of Kim during job interviews. Like, who does that? The drama intensified when another woman named Nikki stepped forward with some serious allegations about both Diddy and Kanye.
And my manager was sitting across from me, and you know, if you know about like my past and like us being together, like because I noticed as I was standing there just like wondering what's going on, Diddy kept looking at me and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I realized that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their and there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. And they're like, out of their minds. And they start coming towards me, and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but like, and they're coming towards me more and they're trying to like take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Like a little bit scared. Did this just freeze? Okay, no, it's back. Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well.
Now, here's where things get really twisted. Everyone was worried sick about Bianca, thinking she was this innocent victim trapped in Kanye's web. But hold on to your seats because this tea is scalding. Bianca just got named in a lawsuit against Kanye, and she's not listed as a victim. She's listed as a conspirator. The lawsuit claims she was sending employees links to some super inappropriate content. This apparently happened back in April when Kanye decided he wanted to get into the adult film business. Which is wild because didn't he previously admit he had addiction issues with that kind of content? Make it make sense! Initially, sources said Bianca was freaking out about Kanye's plans, worried he'd make her star in these films. One insider spilled, "She's freaking out and with good reason. He's been strutting her around and dressing her like she's in some kind of freaky fashion show." But, plot twist, looks like she might have been more involved than anyone thought. The lawsuit mentions that these inappropriate materials were accessible to underage staff at Yeezy. Like, how does that even happen? And Bianca allegedly sent an employee a link containing explicit content, supposedly for developing some kind of app Ye announced plans for in 2024. Now insiders are changing their tune completely, saying we've all got Bianca wrong. She's not some helpless victim, but a willing participant in all of this. One source claims she's been on board from day one and is just as bad and creepy as he is.
Hey, I there's just a pair of shorts I want to see.
Yeah, can I get your number? For real? Oh, damn.
You know, it's hard. It is like co-parenting. It's really hard, you know? And like,
You're not co-parenting with just anyone.
yeah.
For the quietest,
But
easiest.
I had the best dad. And I had the best memories and the greatest experience. And that's all I want for my kids. As long as they can have that, that's what I would want for them.
And my manager was sitting across from me. And, you know, if you know about like my past and like us being together, like, because I noticed as I was standing there just kind of just like wondering what's going on, Diddy kept looking at me and Kanye kept looking at Laura, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like to join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And they're like out of their minds. And they start coming towards me and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us. Like, we're all just friends. Like, let us just, like, see, like, how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And, like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still, like, this is a bad situation. I'm creeped out, but, like, they're coming towards me more, and they're trying to, like, take my clothes off. And I'm like, at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm, like, still trying to, like, play it off. Just, like, stop, you guys are stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Like, a little bit scared. Did this just freeze? Okay, no, it's back. Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully point. And they're both coming at me. And I'm like, you guys, like seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well.
But here's the real kicker. Kim is reportedly going nuclear over all this. She's allegedly working with her lawyers to get full custody of all the kids, especially after hearing that Bianca might have exposed North and the other children to inappropriate content. Fans are totally backing Kim on this one, with comments like, Kim is too nice and patient. I would have filed for full custody ages ago. And honestly, people are saying Kim's lawyers are building an ironclad case for full legal and physical custody. At this rate, Kanye might end up with supervised visits only. If he's lucky, the way things are going, this custody battle is about to be the messiest thing we've seen in celebrity drama in a long time. This is absolutely insane, y'all. Drop your thoughts in the comments and check out this next video.